You remember a world that no longer exists. Not vaguely, not in fragments, clearly. The smell of a Blockbuster on a Friday night, the shriek of a dial-up modem, the specific weight of a Saturday morning when cartoons were the only thing that mattered and nobody could text you to ruin it. You were born in the 1990s, and that timing didn't just shape your childhood, it rewired your psychology in ways most people never stop to examine. Picture this. It's 1997. You're outside. No phone in your pocket, no GPS on your wrist, just you, your neighborhood, and one unspoken rule. Come home when the street lights come on. You weren't supervised. You weren't scheduled. You were free in a way children today will simply never experience. Kids in the 90s averaged 3 to 4 hours of unstructured outdoor play daily. Today's children manage less than 30 minutes. You were the last group for whom boredom was a raw material, something you turned into adventure, into creativity, into real human connection. When there was nothing to do, you invented something. A stick became a sword. An empty lot became a universe. You didn't Google solutions, you imagined them. Today, boredom lasts about 10 seconds before a screen fills it. That ability is disappearing, and you're one of the last people who still has it. But here's what makes your generation truly different. You didn't just grow up in one world. You lived through the moment it changed. You used encyclopedias, then search engines. You rewound VHS tapes. Then DVDs felt like magic. You had a childhood completely free of smartphones. Then smartphones arrived and rewrote the rules of being alive. Researchers call it being analog native and digitally fluent, a combination that will never exist again. Every generation before you was fully analog. Every generation after you was born into the digital world as the default. Only you remember what was there before it. That's not just nostalgia. That's a form of knowledge that can't be taught, only lived through. And there's something else your generation lost that most people can't even articulate anymore. Privacy during growth. That changes everything. When you made a mistake as a teenager, only the people in that room knew. No video, no viral clip, no permanent record of your worst, most unfinished version of yourself. You got to figure out who you were before anyone was watching. You got to fail quietly, evolve privately, become someone without an audience grading the process. That luxury is gone. It's not coming back. Then came MySpace, then Facebook, then Instagram, and suddenly every moment needed to be documented, filtered, and performed for approval. You didn't grow up with that pressure, but you grew into it, and that collision is where the weight begins. You feel it, even if you can't explain it. Studies show this generation reports higher anxiety and depression than any before it, not because of weakness, but because of the strain of living between what was and what is. You were taught that connection meant presence, sitting together, showing up, building trust slowly. Then the world redefined connection as performance. You built self-worth through real experience. Then it started measuring worth in follower counts. Living inside that gap every day, that's exhausting in a way that's hard to explain to anyone who didn't live it. But here's what that experience gave you, and this part matters. You know what presence actually feels like, which means you can still choose it. You can put the phone down because you remember life before it was always in your hand. You understand patience because you lived it, waiting for a song to download, for a photo to develop, for your favorite show to air once a week with no option to skip ahead. Delayed gratification wasn't a discipline you had to learn, it was just Tuesday. And you carry something no other generation has. You're fluent in both worlds. You can sit with your parents and understand their references. You can work alongside Gen Z and keep up with theirs. You translate between generations in every room you enter, not because you studied it, but because you lived the bridge between them. That skill is underestimated everywhere and needed everywhere. So here's the real truth beneath all of it. You're not nostalgic for the 90s. You're not missing dial-up internet or rewinding tapes. What you're actually missing is a feeling. The feeling of being fully present without needing to perform it, of living a moment without immediately thinking about how to capture it, of knowing something was real simply because you experienced it, not because you posted it. That feeling didn't disappear forever. It lives in the moments you choose presence over performance, in the dinners where the phone stays in your pocket, in the conversations where you're actually there. You were shaped by the end of one world and the beginning of another. That didn't break you, it defined you. That's exactly who you were always supposed to become, not stuck between two worlds, but someone who understands both.